So recently, I heard about the top 50 free agent list from sports writer Ben Clemens, and it gave me an idea to do a series called Free Agent Frenzy. Free Agent Frenzy is basically going to be where we look at three free agents, break it down, where I think they're going to go, the amount, the size, the contract size, the expectations for them on their new team, or if they're going to re-sign with their old team. And we're gonna break them down piece by piece because I feel like doing a little bit more baseball content, and it might be just that I'm confident that maybe this will do better than other secondary content as it is a break from gaming to a point. A break from gaming to a point. But the fact of the matter is, I do believe that it is a step in the right direction. I do believe that it is something that we should be doing. Either way, or it's worth a shot. Maybe not something which with what we should be doing, but it's worth a shot. Either way, um, my decision is, or my uh, the place I want to start is with the obvious, that being Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is going to be the talk of free agency of the offseason, rightfully so, because of the fact that Aaron Judge was the best American League player in all of baseball last season, having one of the best seasons in recent memory, if not the best season in recent memory. So it is, for argument's sake, to say Aaron Judge will be, rightfully so, the talk of free agency until he signs, whenever that might be, with whoever that might be. I do think that it is crazy, in my opinion, that the San Francisco Giants are in the running for the Aaron Judge sweepstakes. I think that is completely insane that they are in the running for Aaron Judge because of the offseason, because of the season that they just had. So it would be unfamiliar to me that, it would be unfamiliar to me that Judge would even consider going to San Francisco just because of the fact that the Giants were so much worse this year than they were 2 years ago in 2021. So it's not unexpected, but at the same time, it just seems like, maybe they should have learned from Texas that spending a lot on a free agent is not going to make you a winning team. I'm not saying that they shouldn't go after Aaron Judge. I'm just saying I don't know if spending $300 million on a player or $300+ million on a player is going to really right the ship in San Francisco. Especially if that means that they lose Carlos Rodon, because they would lose a big piece in their rotation if they do end up with Aaron Judge. So I think that's something that the Giants have to consider in the long run if they do end up gaining Aaron Judge, that the pursuit of Aaron Judge may negatively affect the rest of their free agent prospects throughout the rest of the offseason. So they got to consider that as well during the course of the offseason, what the plan is for the other aspects of their free agent pursuits. And I think that the Mets have to do the same thing. The Mets should be considering the same thing because of the fact that they have people like Jacob DeGrom as a prospective person on free agency, that they can't let tunnel vision obscure them from pursuing other people on the free agent market. Not to say that DeGrom is not a viable person to spend a lot of time on. It's just that you can't let it procure yourself from pursuing other prospective people. As far as Aaron Judge is concerned, I almost forgot. As far as Aaron Judge is concerned, the fact of the matter is, I think that him going anywhere other than the Yankees would be a surprise. Not to say that a team like San Francisco, for example, would not be able to procure him. It's more to say that I'd be surprised if people can outbid the Yankees. But that's just my opinion on the situation. I think that the Yankees will probably go in excess of $300 million, and I think that Aaron Judge will be a very wealthy man at the end of this free agent season or off season. I think if I had to guess, probably 8 years, 8 or 9 years, around 300 million for Aaron Judge would be enough to get him to stay with the Yankees. I do think it's also possible that maybe the Yankees could get him to sign for somewhat of a pay cut. Like maybe it would take 315 million for the Giants to get him away from New York, and only 300 million for him to remain in New York. But that's just my opinion because I think he may want to stay with the Yankees, but the Yankees have to be willing to pay for him to stay. Rightfully so. After the season he's had, there's no reason why anybody should expect Mr. Judge to take a pay cut or to not want to make all the money he possibly can from free agency, because that is what he should be doing this year as a free agent, maximizing his ability to make money after an incredible season. Speaking of somebody maximizing his ability to make money, New York Mets ace Jacob DeGrom, who is also somebody that I am emotionally attached to, being a Mets fan, I would love to see DeGrom remain with the Mets and stick around. But the fact of the matter is, I also am realistic with it, and I don't want the Mets to go overboard with DeGrom just because he's Jacob DeGrom, because even Ben Clemens said, how long can DeGrom keep up the pace? How long can DeGrom be DeGrom? And what happens when he's not DeGrom anymore and age takes its course? Because injuries are already taking their course to a degree on DeGrom. So how long until age catches up and he's not the pitcher pitching 100 plus miles an hour anymore, and he's just a normal guy, and he's not the superstar that he is now? And do you really want to risk paying him an arm and a leg to have the back half of the contract end up like some people may think the back half of the contract will end up? I think that him ending up with something similar to what Max Scherzer got last offseason is realistic, but anything more than 4 years for DeGrom, I would be dumbfounded, in my opinion. I think that DeGrom could set a record this offseason because of the short length of his contract, that could end up causing him to set a record for the highest AAV over the shortest contract. But outside of that, there's a reason for that, because I don't think anybody will give him a lengthy, meaty contract like he may want, because I think people will look at his age and look at his injury history and see that he isn't somebody that you should be dishing out a long, meaty contract to, because he has yet to prove that he can stay healthy. In my opinion, I think, I'm only saying this because I just watched Ben Clemens' breakdown, that I think seeing 3 years, 141 million, or maybe 3 years, 120 million, in that range, 120, 140 million for DeGrom would not be too much of a foreign idea. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to sit here and ask the question of what teams would be willing to go for that, I think if Texas still has money left to spare, the Rangers could be a team willing to invest in Jacob DeGrom. If not the Rangers, I think it much like Aaron Judge, the Mets will likely land their ace and keep the incredible starting rotation together that they had with the 1-2 punch of Jacob and Max Scherzer. The only problem is, what do the Mets do as far as the other starters? Because also Chris Bassett and Taijuan Walker are free agents, so they would have to make the decision to spend excessively on DeGrom or bring back both Bassett and Taijuan Walker, you would assume, unless they can get one or both of them on discounts. But then the question is, after DeGrom, where do they go with the rotation? But I think it is more likely that DeGrom will remain with the Mets, and to round out the first free agent frenzy, um, to round out the first free agent frenzy, I think it is fair to round it out with somebody that would be easy to decide where they're going to go, and that is Justin Turner. Justin Turner's in the twilight of his career. Justin Turner has had honestly, a lot better of a career than most people would have thought because of the fact that nobody expected, Justin Turner to have the career that he has had. So the fact that Justin has had the career that he's had is a testament to the type of player that has been, and the work that he's put in to become an all-star, perennial all-star, MVP type player. And I think much like the other two that I talked about in this video, I think it would be shocking to see Justin Turner round out his career with anyone other than the Los Angeles Dodgers. So I think that Justin Turner will likely not only stick with the Dodgers, but maybe take a little bit of a discount to allow the Dodgers to spend money elsewhere to help further their cause and make the team a little bit more well rounded going into the next season to help address any other possible needs that the Dodgers may have going into 2023. Because I think Justin Turner would love to spend the remainder of his career with Los Angeles, and I think it's a fit that he can help bring the team forward if they want him to be in more of a veteran role, whatever they want him to do. I think Justin Turner would be more than willing to step up and basically just come back year to year as long as he wants to keep playing. But either way, these have been my thoughts on the first free agent frenzy. We're going to go a little bit more detailed and maybe a little bit more concise, and maybe I'll think a little bit more. I don't want to say think a little bit more in depth about possibilities or have a little bit more fun with it because I honestly just don't see DeGrom, Judge, or Justin Turner going anywhere else. But we still got a crap ton of free agents to go and a lot of fun to have in this offseason because there's no strike. There's no CBA. Everything's settled. We get to go right to the fun of the offseason. The hot stove is heating up because the winter meetings are here and the fun is about to begin. So let's find out who will sign first, who will sign second. And even though I'm pre-recording this comments and people may have signed by the time this video is posted, what happens next with free agent frenzy? Because the hot stove will hopefully heat up before the end of the year. But these have been my thoughts on these free agents. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're enjoying this type of content and me making this channel a little bit more well-rounded, let me know that you're enjoying it by leaving you can let me know that you're enjoying it by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel because any and all interactions do help and are very much appreciated. And until next time, I will see you all again soon, but do not forget to ding dang the notification bell because I almost forgot to remind you before we both headed out. And until next time, see you soon.